Ugh, another year, another Valentine's, another day spent a loner. Oh well, may as well retreat to my happy place, and marks the occasion with a fittingly romantic movie. Aye, this will do nicely. Amelie, released in 2001, directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. This is up there with one of the most famous and internationally renowned French films of all time. Even those who are casuals to cinema have seen that eye-catching poster bare minimum by accident at least once in their lifetimes. It was acclaimed upon release, but how does it hold up a quarter of a century on? Well, let's take a look. We'll begin with the namesake herself, Amelie, played stunningly by Audrey Tautou. Although the actress who plays her as a child, Flora Gouet, deserves credit too for her quick role. And on that note, we see that the character had a sheltered childhood, with little communication from her father, and her mother killed off in morbidly funny fashion. And because of that, she's had to be left to her own devices, which generates this vivid imagination, and her experiences follow her into adulthood, where she is, understandably, shy and reserved, tending to keep to herself in solitude. But it's not all doom and gloom, as she appreciates and enjoys the little things and simple pleasures. She's a movie lover who attends the cinema all the time and notices all the subtle details. A woman after my own heart. And despite her younger days, she still selflessly looks out for her dad, who was never the same after his wife's passing. Audrey does so great in the part. She's instantly likeable. You care for everything that she does or encounters, and it helps that she has an extremely expressive face, particularly her eyes and that rich smile. And I like how she has this simple, uneventful life, which turns around in a minor yet fateful event through the discovery of the photographs, which sets her on an adventure of curiosity down the path of destiny. And what happens and what she does along the way reminds me of Forrest Gump. You know how a single person's actions can mean a lot to others? Although unlike Gump, Amelie is well aware of this and is making an effort. I really like this cast of characters that make this a very alive world to be in. There's little to nobody who is outright normal. You can centre an entire TV series around these interesting colourful folk. It's like witnessing a wacky soap opera. Just a mere few to mention include Suzanne the cafe owner, Gina, the co-worker, Georgette, the hypochondriac tobacconist, loaded with illness non-stop, Madeline, who lost her husband years ago and has lived in isolation since, Collignon, the aggressive loud-mouthed grocer, and Lucian, his mistreated young assistant, Joseph, who is the pettiest wee prick. You may recognise him as Dom from Alien Resurrection. Raymond, aka the Glassman, the brittle-boned artist neighbour. You really hang on to his words, and I enjoy hearing Amelie's conversations. And the fact that he has a live feed camera to film the clock outside so he never has to wind his own is so original and just amuses me to no end. And then there's Nino, the photo booth guy, who reassembles dud pictures left behind. I love that concept. All these strangers unknown to us and have us wondering about what their lives are like. And we learn that before that, he also used to collect footprints and tape funny laughs. Simple, yet specifically captivating hobbies. And of course Amelie is enamoured by someone like him, but she's nervous and caught up by this fear of rejection, and all this leads to a very patiently built up, adorable romance. There are countless scenes that I love throughout. Amelie reuniting Pedro with his photographs, and as a result his cherished memories, is very heartfelt. When she's guiding the blind man, and the sheer wonder beaming from his face, her nudging Georgette along to step up and speak to Joseph, who she fancies, and their cute fling gradually develops up to quite the climax if you catch my drift. My favourite part has to be Amelie dishing out karma to Collignon for his bad treatment of Lucian by messing up the tiniest unnoticeable little things in his house, causing a pile up of inconvenience. It is really funny and satisfying, and Lucian loosens up and breaks out of his shell as a result. I like her posting the long lost letter to Madeline, which is so sweet. There's her taking her dad's gnome and sending it on a fake holiday around the globe, mailing back the travel pics. It's a brilliant running gag which has a nice payoff. And Amelie sending Nino on a fun little journey all the way up those stairs to reunite him with his album from a distance is another favourite scene of mine. The whole foundation of Amelie being inspired to help others like a guardian angel, as Bitchdo puts it, in my eyes is the heart and soul of the movie, which sticks with me most. It reminds us that no matter what we think of ourselves, even if we're antisocial, have low self-confidence or self-esteem, or don't feel like that we matter, we all have a purpose for living, and we can contribute to the happiness of others. And there is no greater feeling of fulfillment on earth than doing exactly that and witnessing the results that come with it. It's a philosophy I always try to abide by, even when I'm inspired or suffering for a dark patch myself. In terms of the filmmaking, a distinct feature is the oversaturated colour correction, which I wouldn't lie can be a little bit of an eyesore, but all the same, it does allow for certain colours to pop, especially the greens and reds and the very rarely seen blues, and they make everything around them almost seem like sepia tone in comparison, with that sharp contrast. It's a deliberate production design choice which does become less distracting the more accustomed I get to it. It's visually resonant and it creates a dreamlike sensation. And speaking of dreams, there are many fanciful spots, very much like out of a dream, like the opening scene, Amelie watching newsreels of her life, moments where the furniture or pictures are talking, and when she's waiting in the cafe wondering where Nino is. It's defined by swishing camera shots. There is almost always movement, which goes hand in hand with the swift, rapid-fire editing. It's very lively and hooks you in, but still settles down in the appropriate scenes. I like the variety of neat-looking locations. The Two Windmills Cafe, the local markets, the bar, the train station, the fun fair, and even the adult video shop. Ah, the joys of physical media. Lastly, Jan Tiersen handles the score, and it is phenomenal. His piano work especially is out of this world, just pure magic. My favourite piece for sure is the one titled Comte d'un Autorité. I can listen to it on loop forever. I also love his use of strings and the accordion, plus the times he goes over the top dramatic with the orchestra. After what was my third viewing of Amelie, it still warms my heart, makes me chuckle, and puts a pleasant grin on my face with its overwhelming charm. The type of film that reminds me just why I love cinema. How appropriate for Valentine's week, eh? And with that said, I wish you all nothing but love, regardless of the holiday or not. And don't forget, without you, today's emotions would be the scurf of yesterday's. Oh, and also the most vital lesson of all that we should take away from this, fur pie doesn't sell. I'm Jason, and this is Small Movie World, watching, talking, and loving films.